scrapped together our life savings, three of us, me, Joe, and our other friend Doug Keller, who's no longer affiliated with the company, but still a close friend. So anyways, we put it all in a U-Haul truck and we drove out here. So we came to Charlottesville and we went to our default spot, which was on the corner, and we started with a little cart in an alley there. And we stood out there and we make like $4 a day, and we held our hours 6 to 11. But people saw us because we were there every day, and they would drive by and they're like, what are these guys doing? I mean, people would come up and ask for hot dogs or corn dogs or whatever, like, no, we have coffee and latte, what's that? But we stuck with it, and then the spring came, and it did thaw, and then everybody came to see what it was about, and it just blossomed from there. We had multiple locations, and then we kind of wanted to just focus on our core. We always wanted to start as a roaster retailer, but we just didn't have the resources. So we scratched our way through retail for about 10 years, got enough resources to start TBC. We looked all over for a place to start it. We wanted to do it in Charlottesville. Nelson was the only place that was really business friendly and receptive to what we want to do. So we bought that old farmhouse on Livingston and converted it, put a roastery out back, and we got started. We dropped our first batch of coffee there in 2007. And then about a year after that, Josh came on board. And we just kind of built it up brick by brick from there.
One of the things we had is we were able to get into the UVA Medical Center about 15 to 18 months of being outside on the street corner. We were fortunate where we had set up that cart was a thoroughfare where doctors parked their car in the parking lot and then walked right by us. And so we built up our first customer base based on mostly the UVA medical community. We set up and it just, the curve just went straight. Every month we just doubling. And we got to the point where it was really a thriving business. And so the idea of starting a roasting company, we wanted to control our own supply. We were still bringing coffee in from the West Coast, which was a big expense, and we wanted to control our own coffee. And we figured even if we don't get another customer, the UVA market is so strong from our retail there that we can, just supplying that will be an advantage for us. So we set up with the idea that we'd roast for ourselves, and then from there it spread into the wholesale business that it became.
But we got one customer and then two, so I literally drove all around the Mid-Atlantic with coffee in my car, going to Whole Foods, going to Mom's, visiting, and just knocking. We just slowly built it out store by store. But still, to this day, I would say half the people that come here feel like they've discovered us because we are definitely a destination.
The other thing which was really great is being in UVA is you'd have the residents come in and serve a 2 to 5 year residency there and become daily customers of Higher Grounds, which is our retail brand, serving TBC coffee. And they develop a taste for it and a like for it, and then when they finish their residencies and go literally scatter to the wind all over the country, all over the world, they stay big fans of the coffee. Coffee is really local and you develop a local taste, but once you lock onto a certain flavor or taste you like or a company you like, people are pretty brand loyal. So it really blew up our e-store too with people. So if you look at our PayPal account, it's like there's probably more people buying coffee not from Virginia than from Virginia. It's all over the place.
All the way to pre-pandemic, we were working very hard on a cold brew launch. 2020 should have been a really big breakout year for us, but then this hit, so it's been a complete and total readjustment. But we've been very fortunate in the sense that if our model, if you had to put a number, we were probably 80% wholesale and 20% retail. The whole concept of this place is you should be able to come in here and you're in Central Virginia, and you should be able to have the same coffee, caffeine experience that you'd have in Seattle, New York, San Francisco, but you have all this beauty, and you can still ride your horse up. It's very big tent. It's not pretentious. So you can come in here, you can talk to any of these guys about coffee. They'll run you through the flavor wheel. They'll engage you. They're not going to judge you if you put sugar or syrup in your coffee or milk in your coffee. What they're going to do is just try to share whatever they can, and, oh, you like this? Oh, that's really cool. Rather than, well, you don't know that, you're dumb, whatever, you want to drink it this way. You wouldn't believe the people we get here. It's such a great cross-section. I mean, we get people that come out of the mountains once a month and buy 5 pounds of coffee, and it's like, they don't come down for anything else. And then we have, people like yourself. We have doctors, we have lawyers, we have tourists. Tons of people from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Northern Virginia. They come through, and it's just like sushi. If it's good coffee, people seek it out. And that's why people feel like they discover us. They come here, they have a good experience, go to Wintergreen, they continue to buy it online. And we built this really great customer base. Coffee is one of these great things where it just cuts across all socioeconomic, racial, ethnic, everybody. Like everybody can get behind coffee. It's just like food. But it can also get very cultural and very political very quickly. So we do our best to just keep it as safe and welcoming Big Ten as possible.
And this environment really gives us a chance to still have that sense of community that a coffee shop provides, but provide all the social distancing you want and get out there and spread out and enjoy the culture and the climate of this place, but not have to be packed on top of each other.
Perfectly set up for social distancing. So on the weekends, we have lots of people spreading out on the play field and doing their thing. And it's really nice. Like, we just went to Columbia in February, and we went there looking for what kind of coffee we wanted to put in that can for our cold brew. So we went way up in the bush. We did the whole thing. You know, we pick the cherries, we see the processing, we meet the farmers, bought a bunch of coffee, we bring it all the way, and we can trace it all the way from the tree, through the port, to the importer, to us, to our process roasting, then our processing, where our plant in Baltimore, into the can. So it's a really cool, like, farm to can. We have a lot of coffee and beers around there. Like, we put it in the Dark Hollow for Blue Mountain. We did it in the porter at Pro Renata. Say one thing that we're really excited about is right now Devil's Backbone reached out and they chose us for all the roasters that they could do in the entire world, essentially. And I just sent them a bunch of samples they're cupping, and they're going to do a coffee beer in their flagship Vienna Lager, and it's going to go into their variety pack that's coming out. And then we're going to do this Danzig Baltic Porter in the fall, and so that's super exciting because the Vienna Lager is like, it's an amazing beer. It was always my favorite, and just kind of launched it. We did a coffee beer when they first started, and it was called Morning Bear, and they went to a very prestigious festival in Germany and won a gold medal, and we haven't done it since. That was 5-6 years ago, and now here we are, and so we're really excited about that. Like, our mission statements, quality, community, sustainability, so everything starts with the quality, and underneath that, if you want to have true quality, in my opinion, it needs to be organic and sustainable, because you just have to close your eyes, and I'll put 2 tomatoes, one conventional, one organic. Conventional will be beautiful. It's going to look like a still life painting. The organic's going to be lumpy and weird, but then you're going to try them. You're going to close your eyes, and I promise you, you're going to pick the organic tomato every time. The other one's going to taste like nothing because it's reflected in the soil and in the water and everything else. So it's the same with coffee. Coffee's a fruit. It's a cherry. People forget that. So it has a huge impact on the quality. So we switched many years ago. We switched about, I think we got one order. We had a little conventional, and then it was just like, no, we're done. We're going to go straight organic. And it translates into the cup. So it all starts with quality, and then de facto from that comes the organic side. And when you're doing organic farming, you care about your water, and you care about your healthcare, and you care about your people. That blows out into community. And it's really the only thing that's sustainable. It's like, we're never going to be this colossal giant. We're not trying to conquer the world. If the world comes with our mission, that's great. We're not out to conquer it. And we're just out to expose our brand to as many people as we can, and like, real value and a real quality. Like, we could charge a whole lot more for our coffee. People come down here from New York and they spend $200 because they know they can get 2 bags in New York for $200, or they can come here and get 12 bags. And we do that on purpose. And it's like, I know those people are roasting that coffee up there. We buy it from the same importers. I know what their costs are. Now, granted, New York's way more expensive than things, but there is an element in coffee of gouging based on the marketing fluff. We try very hard not to do that. We try to just present it as really good quality, really good value, try the best we can to make it accessible to anybody, regardless of their status or their income or whatever. So, but I guess I would just say to everybody, we're not going anywhere, and everybody's welcome here. Just not going to walk in fear. Coffee always endures. You just got to figure out how to get it to people. Whatever your market is, they're going to come for it. If it's quality, it's good, they're going to still come for it.
One of the things we talked about
influential.
when we were deciding whether or not we wanted to even launch into the coffee business was like, can it last? Can it survive? Is it a fad? And we both knew that, it is a drug, an addictive drug no less, an accepted addictive drug that everybody drinks. But what we knew is that you look at every crisis situation, every flood zone or a hurricane rips through and the whole place is leveled. What do you see? You see guys standing around in rain slickers holding a styrofoam cup of coffee. It's like coffee will be served at the apocalypse. That's what we sort of know.
Sifting through the rubble. I'll be drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes.